out there, this is the AnYPony and welcome to my top 5 Yay and Nay Season 4 wishlist. So what's up with this title? Well, this video is supposed to be a response to Voice of Reason's top 10 Season 4 plus wishlist for future episodes. But I was not really able to come up with 10 original ideas for episodes I'd like to see. So I decided to use my newly established top 5 Yay and Nay list format. 5 Yay episodes I hope to see and 5 Nay episodes I'd gladly miss out on. For those of you who have seen all my videos so far, you might be able to predict one or another of my wishes, I guess. Number 5. Nay! I don't want to see no episode about the Equestria games. And the second no is not meant to emphasize how much I don't want to see this episode like Applejack would do it, but actually as a double negative. If they don't go anywhere with this build-up they spent 1.5 episodes on, this would be horse apples and just cause more drama for the bronies to panic over. I am not particularly interested in this episode myself, what is pretty much the reason why this wish did not end up on my Yay list, but since they kind of teased us about this event, I would be pissed if they leave us hanging now. Also, it provides nice setup for number 5, Yay! Exploring other species. This is so far down on my list because I don't want them to emphasize this kind of world building too much. As we established multiple times by now during our discussions in the CBD podcast, the fact that a lot is left open for interpretation in the MLP universe is one of the strong suits of the series that provides room for all the creativity within the fandom. But it would be nice to get a bit more insight into maybe the Griffin or Changeling culture. Number 4. Neigh! More Apple Bloom focused episodes. Sorry to all the Apple Bloom fans out there, but she is my least favorite CMC. And ironically, she's the main CMC, receiving an extra dose of spotlight like in Bridal Gossip, Call of Cutie, Cutie Pox and Family Appreciation Day. So far the other two each only got 1 episode for themselves. It took me long enough to like the CMC as a group, and I only really came around to do so when they got over non-stop obsessing about their cutie marks throughout their entire episodes. And Apple Bloom tends to be the most obsessed if you ask me. Number 4. Yay! Romantic relationships. Yes, I know, Voice of Reason explicitly stated he does not want us wishing for shipping episodes, but sorry dude, when I sit down and make a whole video wishlist I do it by my own rules. Also, I'm not wishing for any particular couple. I basically just want to repeat my wish from the My Thoughts On video I did a while back. A straight Rainbow Dash and a homosexual Rarity or Fluttershy. Probably rather Fluttershy since Rary Spike has this OTP vibe to it. I already explained why I want this kind of pair-ups in my before mentioned video, so I am not going into this now. But before moving on, let me just explain that I totally do realize and think that it is a very strong aspect of Friendship is Magic that there is usually no emphasis on romance. And I basically want to keep it this way. But there are subtle ways to deal with relationships, love and so on without provoking disturbing memories of G2. My How It Is Done Right reference, sorry if I spoil anything, but come on, the series ended 6 years ago and if you haven't seen it yet you missed out big time. Kim Possible. In the entire 4th season, Kim and Ron are in a committed relationship, but they were not snoggy-woggy about it all the time. They were just in a relationship. So yeah, give the main 6 boy and or girlfriends. Don't emphasize it too much so. Maybe not even make it the main plot of an episode. But do it. Number 3. Neigh. Redundant, often bad character arcs. All the characters get differently interpreted by the individual writers, what often enough leads to great discussions among bronies about the actual nature of particular characters. For example, one certain Yellow Pegasus is extremely inconsistent. From episode to episode, Fluttershy switches between insecure, whimpering mental patient to level-headed, assertive doer. Apparently the writer's having troubles to decide if the character development in episodes like Putting Your Hoof Down or Hurricane Fluttershy is supposed to stick or not. The same goes for Rainbow Dash learning repeatedly the same lesson, or Spike being an unlikable douche in many of his own episodes. Instead of experiencing the same story about character growth in a different scenario over and over again, I'd rather like to see... Number 3. Yay! Concluding story arcs. Twilight was the first and Rainbow Dash is on a good way thanks to Wonderbolt Academy and, on a more social level, Sleepless in Ponyville. I enjoy series that actually show development and go somewhere. I know, kid shows often try to avoid this for the sake of repeated free airability. But this ship pretty much sailed with changing the main character's physical appearance and status. Now go ahead and use this opportunity, DHX. But when you actually start concluding story arcs, please try to avoid number 2, Neigh, redemption arcs. At least don't reuse the standard formula you have used pretty much every time so far, struggling throughout the episode with a tacked on last minute change of heart. This was the case with Luna/Nightmare Moon, Babseed, Trixie and Discord. For Luna this was completely fine, it was a prologue of the series, all the exposition had to be done, and the adventure arc itself was rather the framework than the actual focus. Babs turning good was only feeling tagged on because her earlier lack of conscience or regret. But Trixie on the other hoof, just making a bit of firework and saying sorry does not really count as a fully developed redemption in my books. I am putting all my hopes about this into BronyCurious' comic recovery. And Discord's reformation, don't even get me started. In conclusion, if you can't do good redemption arcs, please don't do them at all. Or try a new formula. Apropos Discord. Number 2, yay! More interesting Discord. He was brought back, he is quote unquote reformed, fans love him, John Delancey apparently loves playing him, so giving us more Discord should be easy enough. But make him interesting. If I have to see more of this submissive, slow puppy dog he got transformed into during the last minutes of Keep Calm and Flutter On, he had been my favorite antagonist for the longest time. And it is quite achievable to make him a good guy without taking away his snarky, entertaining personality. Check out the comics by grievousfan on DeviantArts. Discord is not evil, spends time with Fluttershy, just casually hangs around Ponyville, but still manages to pull off a bunch of pranks and simply creates a good time for him as well as the reader. Now, what do I not want to see in Season 4 under any circumstances? What would have the potential to finally break the show for me? Number 1, Neigh. Taking Twilight's wings away. As much as I did not mind the whole turning Twilight into an Alicon in the first place, I insist now that the show has to stick to it. If they backpedal now, I can't respect them anymore as storytellers. And there are so many stories they can tell now. Just consider number 1, yay! Exploring Aliconhood. From flying lessons for Twilight over getting used to her new level of magic, maybe going a bit into meaning of being an Alicon in the first place, there is a lot to tell. Also, there is the aspect of changes in the dynamic of our beloved group of friends. I admit that there is a lot of potential to screw this up, but this is a show that had done a great job in establishing character relationships and showing great interactions. I believe they can make something out of this, but only time can tell. And this concludes my top 5 yay and nay wishes for Season 4 onward. This is AnYPony saying see you soon.